Greetings all! This is Justin back again from Those Hairy Gamers, and I'm here with Nick.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, doing okay. We have another amazing looking box for Star Wars Legion.
We do indeed. This is the AT-ST, the Chicken Walker.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible name for something so terrifying, I must say.
Like, I know I keep on saying that these boxes look amazing, but like, they really do.
They really do.
The fact that they're just popping out of the image and like a nice black box with a little bit of image. Oh,
it's nice and sophisticated. Hopefully when we actually see the box IRL, it'll be like a nice satin finish and everything. Like just the black and the bold colours.
Yeah.
Now, this is significant for me because the Chicken Walker is one of my favourite vehicles in Star Wars. When I was a kid and I saw the first Star Wars movie, I was actually given an AT-ST for my birthday, which was right after that.
Yeah.
I hadn't actually seen it in a movie.
I was about to say, there's no Chicken Walkers in
No,
the
there
first
isn't.
movie.
But the fact that it was Star Wars and I was so hyped for Star Wars at that point,
Yep.
and I got one for my birthday, and then I saw it in Return of the Jedi, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Yeah, it's just such a cool vehicle. It's so imposing. It's so to the core what the Empire is trying to do in terms of inspire fear, just have a big thing with a big gun on it and a little thing on its head, which is interesting.
So maybe some missiles or something?
Yeah, we'll go further into that as we look at the spread, but it's interesting that they've added that on. Perhaps in the kit you can put that on as an additional part, as an option.
I'm thinking, actually,
Yeah.
it might be in Kashyyyk they used to have Chicken Walkers with nets that they used to shoot out to capture Wookiees.
Of course, yeah, that's a good point.
That could be cool.
That's a very good point. Yeah, okay, interesting. Let's move down to the spread and see what's actually included in this article.
Yep.
A very, very cool looking model for the start. Again, channels and little divots so we know where the arcs are, all that kind of stuff. And in this instance, the rear arc is important. And I'll go into that in a second when we actually reveal what's in the spread here. But I don't know why it zooms out there when I'm trying to zoom in. We go down, we have the comm jammer, the long range scanner, and Justin's pointing at something. What are you pointing
Yes,
at?
I was about to point out that it's got the same little hooky symbol as the...
Indeed it does, which means that's probably not a tow cable.
Yeah.
What's interesting as well is we can see that this upgrade is indeed some kind of weapon. So based on what we've seen so far, I would guess that this is a hard point. It's some kind of range 1 to 3, impact 1, and something that starts with F.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is yet. But the vehicle itself has armor. Again, we know what that means.
Yep.
It means you cancel hit results, only crit results matter. Arsenal too, just like the Snowspeeder. When attacking, you can fire with 2 weapons. So if you're firing at range, for example, you could use this blaster cannon and one of these.
Yep.
Weak point 1 rear. This is interesting. Basically, it says when you're defending against someone in your rear, they gain impact 1, which is very interesting. So it has a downside built into it, which means that this point cost of what looks like 155 or 175, we can't see, is probably a bit cheap for all these stats you're getting here. And this is the downside to balance that into it. That's the impression I'm getting.
Well, if it's 175, that's the same as the airspeeder.
Yes, if it's 155, it's slightly cheaper.
Yeah.
If it's cheaper, and we're looking at all these stats here, it has a better mechanical integrity, if that's what that symbol correlates to.
Yeah.
More health, same dice, same surge, slightly slower, but
But it already starts off with 2 weapons.
and it's 1 to 4, and it's got the close range thing.
Yep.
I mean, the Snowspeeder is immune to melee anyway, so it doesn't need a melee attack. It would be dumb if it had a melee attack.
Yeah.
It's a blaster of some kind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's like an anti-pursuit laser on our AT-ST, which is quite cool. This is interesting.
Actually,
Yes.
I've also just noticed it's got 3 hardpoint slots to go in the ship as well. So
It
this
does. It makes sense. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's
4.
it. 4. So 1, 2. Oh no, that's what it has already. 1, 2, 3 is its hard points. Ah, okay. And that explains why we have something on the side of its head to add on to it. Which we have all of these. This is interesting. Now, if this is the same as, say, the tow cable from the Snowspeeder, it would make sense that it's on the AT-ST.
Yeah.
as it's some kind of separate function, kind of quasi-canon.
Yeah.
And if you're right about it being a net that catches Wookiees, that fits perfectly. The tow cable would straight up be useless on an ATSD because of the way it functions. If they match the flavour within the game, it means that it's not going to be able to walk around things. It's too slow. So that could be cool. Or, if it is a tow cable on the Snowspeeder, it might say Snowspeeder only.
Yeah.
Or if this is a net, it might say ATSD only. And that makes perfect sense. And that pretty much confirms to me that these are hard points. And that makes the most sense. So we got that kind of weird functional thing. We've got 3 hard points. And some kind of tech, which is the comms, the jammer, or the long-range thing. Again, we know what that does. And we also have this here. And we haven't talked about this yet, because on the ground troopers, this is to do with intimidation and fear and that kind of thing, which is why Vader's immune, blah, blah, blah. This is about mechanical integrity of some kind. And it's going to affect the way it moves. Maybe it can't take enough actions. It limits the amount of actions just like it does with regular units. And this is the symbol which means, oh no, you've mechanical integrity, you've mechanical disabled my ship in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's good that we have all that represented, and I love this model. Look at that. That's just so utterly cool. We got some nice new high-res photos. Always happy to see that. Amongst all the trees, you get a nice sense of scale there.
Yeah.
Yep, don't shoot in the back because you get impact 1.
Yeah.
And
so you're going to need to have like a squad behind them or something like that, just in case someone...
Yes, it means flanking is also important. Now, what's cool about the game of Legion is at the start of the game, you are given deployment cards. And those are probably, from what we understand, given at random. It means in some matchups, this is going to be extra powerful because if you're facing your opponent head-on, squad to squad, it's going to be hard to take out the ATSD.
Yeah.
If you're in a more scattered formation, where it's easier for your opponent to flank you, it's going to make the ATSD weaker. Because it's going to be easier to flank, it means easier to shoot in the back. And that's going to really limit its power level. Which means there's actually a bit of variation in the way you build this. There's a bit of variation as to how it functions in battle.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot. I like that there's a bit of risk involved with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me from using it because it looks so cool. Apart from that, nothing else revealed in this article. No extra cards or anything.
No.
Basically, what we have is the ship itself. Just one more thing before we finish.
Yep.
It retails at $50 US, probably looking at about $80, $90 Australian, based on the price differences we've seen so far. That's quite expensive, I will say. Again, I mentioned in the previous video with the Snowspeeder, the Bandai model kits. There is one for this as well. In the case of the Snowspeeder, that was only a little bit cheaper. In the case of the ATST, it is much cheaper to buy the Bandai model kit. Again, I have to repeat, you can't just buy the Bandai model kit and play it in Legion. You need this expansion to play the ATST. Otherwise, you don't have the base, the cards, all the supplementary material. But a replacement model is relatively cheap for this. We don't know what that's going to be like in terms of scale, whether it's going to be significantly bigger, whether the detail is going to be much better, or whether that's going to be legal in FFG-approved tournaments. Probably not, I would guess.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that if it is significantly bigger, you see here, this goes right to the edge of the base.
Yeah.
If we go out a few more mils, it's going to be nearly unplayable.
Oh, yeah.
So it's worth considering that as well. If anyone actually has these Bandai kits, say so in the comments. Let me know about the kind of quality these are, because I want to know the viability of this. At the very least, you can buy these Bandai model kits as destroyed vehicles used as terrain, and I think that's going to be the best use for them.
Definitely.
Anyway, guys, that's it for the Legion reveal expansions for the time being. Hopefully, over the coming weeks, we get a bit more explained. We still don't have a rulebook. We still don't have tactics articles yet, and I think that's something they could be doing. We still have a good, 3 months, maybe a bit less if it's early January before this is revealed, and I'd like to see a lot of good in-depth discussion on rules and tactics on deployment and gameplay and all kinds of stuff.
Do you reckon they're going to do any hero packs or anything like that?
I would
as
imagine
well?
so. I'd imagine so, but I don't think for Wave 1. I think for
Okay.
Wave 1, the commanders are what you get in the core set.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to encourage you to buy the core set.
That makes sense.
Which gives you... Look, there's nothing wrong with that. For example, I think I'm going to want to play Imperials, but I do not begrudge the fact that I'll own a Luke Skywalker mini.
Yeah.
I will pay the extra money for those minis. In fact, it's probably going to be a bit cheaper because you're buying it in bulk anyway.
Yeah.
But that means you get a rule book, dice, all those maneuver templates, at least enough of all that to play the game from the get-go, and a good slew of all the upgrade cards, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
And
absolutely fine. I don't mind spending a bit more to get a bit of a faction I don't want for the sake of getting a core set.
maybe I'll buy them off you or something like that, and I can play Rebels.
Yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. If you guys at home, like, you want to have, you and your buddy want to fly Rebels and Imperials, that's a great way of doing it, great way of saving money.
Yeah.
And a great way of having just all the basic source material to share amongst your friends. This game may prove to be quite expensive. I mean, just looking at the prices so far, it would seem to be a step up in price over X-Wing.
Yeah.
So it would be a great thing to have, like, groups supporting. X-Wing is great for the solo player. Perhaps this will be better amongst clubs for that reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's definitely worth looking into that. And I know a lot of people are already discussing, talking amongst their friends. I'm like, oh, you're good at painting, so you do the painting. Oh, you're good at terrain. And this could be a really good group activity.
Yeah. I am good at none of those things.
That's all right.
That's all right, because you're good at all of those things.
I enjoy doing all those things.
Yeah.
In any case, guys, this is fascinating. I so look forward to playing this game. A lot of cool stuff to discuss. Hopefully we get some more articles to discuss soon. In the meantime, like, subscribe, like our Facebook page, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.